Hey guys, Delta here, and one of the games I played at PAX Prime this year is Sunset Overdrive. It's the new IP from Insomniac Games, the creators of the Ratchet & Clank series, a series I have been a huge fan of for 10 years now. It is a new IP, I think I said that, but it is exclusive to Xbox One, which initially disappointed me, but I still stuck around because, you know what? I am a fan of Insomniac Games. So I played Chaos Squad, the 8-player cooperative multiplayer mode of Sunset Overdrive, specifically a mission called Night Defense, which is kind of the culmination of the earlier missions you choose while you're running through this game type. In many ways, the gameplay feels like an evolution of the Ratchet & Clank formula that's been so successful for so long, and it's just been Insomniac's strength, really, after not so great spin-offs for Ratchet & Clank and then whatever the heck Fuse was. You have a large selection of just absolutely crazy, unique weapons that are all insanely destructive and just incredibly fun to use. A personal favorite of mine is the firework gun. I can't remember what it is, but it looks like one of those Chinese dragons, sort of, with a bunch of fireworks attached to it, and it just shoots explosives and fireworks and looks glorious, and it actually looks amazing when they explode. It's very pretty to look at, but it's just a ton of fun to use. Of course, the biggest difference from Ratchet & Clank is the movement and the idea of quickly moving between rooftops and the ground, all while keeping momentum. There's lots of verticality in Ratchet & Clank, but not done the same way it is here. I'm not so sure about that because I was having some difficulty reaching rooftops and moving around and keeping momentum, and that may be in large part because I had no familiarity with the level. I didn't know the locations of rails, jumps, stuff like that, so I'm not going to fault the game for something that likely won't be as much of an issue if I was more versed and more experienced with it. But what I will say is that the regular movement, so running around on the ground, felt really slow and out of place compared to the rest of the game, which is all about moving fast and keeping your momentum and moving around on these rails and all this crazy stuff. It just seemed odd that running around on the ground, you're just kind of jogging and there's no sprint button or anything like that. And I'm not sure I like that difference between the two. I suppose it could be to emphasize and encourage people to play in those higher areas and play faster, but I'm not so sure about it. Of course, the weapons. Anytime you're getting in an Insomniac game, you're getting crazy weapons, absolutely insane stuff. And one of my favorite things about this game, besides the weapons itself, are the absolutely insane, crazy, and vibrant graphics to match those absolutely insane, crazy weapons. So many different color explosions. I talked about that with the firework gun. I never remember the name of it. There are so many different explosions going on all at once, all over the place, and it's an absolute treat to look at. The only thing I will say is it seemed like the frame rate was struggling with it a bit. I'm not sure how much of that was the frame rate, how much of that was any motion blur that the game had. It may have actually been a combination of the two that made an effect that didn't look that great to me while I was playing it. And if the trailers weren't enough, the gameplay makes it clear. Sunset Overdrive is a silly fun game and it is not taking itself seriously at all. It is all about having a good time. So it's definitely something worth checking out. I'm not sure it's going to be a game that would convince many players, including myself, to go out and buy an Xbox One. It definitely is the most promising thing to come out of Insomniac since probably Ratchet & Clank: A Crack of Time, in my opinion. And it looks really good and it plays nice, but it's not something that's getting me out of my seat and super, like, crazy excited like some other stuff would. It strikes me more as kind of that secondary title you'd grab alongside a Halo or a Forza. It'll definitely review well, but I don't know if it is a system seller. Anyways, Sunset Overdrive is launching exclusively on Xbox One on October 28th in North America and October 31st in Europe. Maybe I'll buy an Xbox One someday, and if I do, I will likely pick up Sunset. It's not likely that it's going to be the reason I go and buy one, though. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Those are my thoughts on Sunset Overdrive. Stay tuned for more PAX news, and I will see you guys next time.